what we have, whatever it is that we're doing. And these moments right now with the quarantine times, where we go home and we're forced to stay home, and a lot of individuals are not used to that. We're used to being out in the bustle, being somewhere, being needed, being, you know, saving more, resolving problems for others, or just being there. Right now the health co-workers, which I am thankful for and grateful for, they're the ones on the front lines facing these patients. What's going on, everybody? We are back. We're back, and as we continue here with the quarantine and brighten this up a little bit, the quarantine that we have here and everything that's going on, it's safe to say that it's gonna be like this for another couple of weeks. And in order for us to really um, grow, we're gonna be tested, right? Family, friends, significant others, work, and yes, my hair's all crazy. Um, just a lot of things in general, but at the same time, we also want to take into consideration and perspective that as those that may have, they may be with their close family and friends right now together, a lot of us, a lot of other individuals don't have that privilege, right? So whether we're feeling kind of stressed or, you know, kind of boxed in because we might be stuck, not stuck, but in our homes with our friends and family, and days, a couple of days of that does make you want to explode in another way, right? But also look at it this way: you have the opportunity and the ability to share this moment in time with those that you love, and especially those that have big families, a lot of kids, or big extended family. I know me growing up, I had my grandma, grandfather, uncle, aunt, and another aunt, and my siblings in one apartment full time. It was not because of quarantine. We lived that way, pretty much growing up, and it did feel very overwhelming at times. I would say many times. But once I moved out of my own, and I had my own place with my family, I did miss that sometimes. The bickering, the constant of people. Everybody had different conversations, right? And there was always someone home. There was always someone there. Always food. People was always cooking. So oftentimes they say when you want to be, we always want the opposite of what we have, right? So when you're around a lot of people, you want to be alone. When you're alone, you want to be around a lot of people. The mind itself always doesn't know what it feels like it wants. It's just one of those things that we have to just accept it, love it, but at the same time embrace where you're at right now. Whether you are or whether you're by yourself or you're around a lot of people, just enjoy it, make the best of it, and that's why I think the "make the best of it" quote comes from, right? Because um, we're always gonna want more of something or less. The mind is never, I think, content or never really um, satisfied. Never. I don't think it ever is. Regardless of a lot of individuals that have high amount value of success, they're still always feeling kind of down on themselves, and they still have depression and anxiety. So I think success or whatever we think that we're missing is never really the answer. It's always just being content right now with what we have, whatever it is that we're doing. And these moments right now with the quarantine times, where we go home and we're forced to stay home, and a lot of individuals are not used to that. We're used to being out in the bustle, being somewhere, being needed, being, you know, saving more, resolving problems for others, or just being there. Right now the health co-workers, which I am thankful for and grateful for, they're the ones on the front lines facing these patients that are coming in with viruses and rescuing lives, right? But for all of us that are not in the healthcare industry, you kind of forced to sit down right now and just be on the, they call it, on the bench for now. and a lot of us are used to being on the playing, on the field, on the floor. We're not used to being on the bench and looking from afar and just resting until hopefully we're able to go back out there and do what we have done for a long time. But I think it's also a great time to reflect and to see, where we might need some more tender love and care, TLC, in our lives. And I think um, this can't be a greater moment than now, that we have to do that, to sit down and really analyze, where we could be maybe doing a little bit more better, where maybe we've been forgetting about certain things, or we've been overlooking certain things, and this is going to give us a time to kind of hone in our skills. And for parents, as myself, I've noticed that helping the kids with the homework, is something that I was kind of being overwhelmed by it, which I am, but I do remind myself that it is a temporary situation, and I know that I'm gonna miss it once they go back to their normal stuff, schedules. This is a moment that I'm never gonna be able to get back, right? This is a moment I try to make the best of it on my little one, and although it is very task heavy, yeah, I don't know if that's a word, but very, very, uh, I would say, um, involved. I also understand that I know eventually when they get back to normal, I'm gonna regret not making them back to it, not putting in a little bit more effort, not being a little bit more into it. So I always remind myself when I have those moments that I'm like, oh, can this be over already? I remind myself that I know this is the moment where I always wanted to be able to spend more time with the kids and get to know them a lot better. Even though I do know them very well, it's nothing like being home with them for the last couple of weeks. This is the third week we've been home with them, and kind of setting down a routine and having them be their own. But for the most part, I'm very grateful because I have great kids, and they are, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But the homework for the little one is a lot. I think I'm getting tested every day, and I'm learning every day. So yeah, so let's just make the best of it. Let's use this time to stay positive and understand that where we're at is where we're supposed to be, and hope this gives you guys a little bit different perspective, a little inspiration. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.